Different video today. Here's a video of me painting a church. It's a 3D print, so I can't take too much credit for the terrain other than the paint job. I love the print, and I'm really happy with how it turns out, but we'll get to that. What I wanted to talk about today is the creation of art. I've been thinking about creation because I've been thinking about how just plain awful the world has been lately. We just passed 400,000 dead of the coronavirus in the United States, which is almost exactly how many Americans died in World War II, and we managed it in just a year. I've been despondent about this. I have depression, and that always gets to me in bad times, but there's more to it than that. Something always happens after big events. My wife and I refer to it as crashing. Basically, when something big happens, good or bad, whether it's Christmas or a deadline, vacation or tax day, after it I end up falling into a depressed and anxious state for 2 or 3 days. This has been happening for so many years that we plan for it and know it's going to happen. But I've been crashing for 10 days now, and I don't know why. My wife and my best bet is that it's a response to the insurrection at the Capitol and the daily insanity that's been following it. I've always been a little obsessive about the news. When there's big events, I can't help but scroll through the various media outlets and see what's happening and see what new commentary is available. Same thing happened with 9/11. When that happened, I didn't have to work and school was canceled, and I sat on the couch 24 hours a day for 4 straight days and just watched CNN. As things have been so bad lately, I'm reminded of Theoden despairing at the end of the Battle of Helm's Deep, saying, "What can be done against such reckless hate?" The answer, of course, is creation. That's the only thing that can be done against reckless hate. Cicero wrote, "I criticize by creation, not by finding fault." That's something that I wish I was better at, because lately I've just been pretty stuck in criticism by finding fault. I create things, these models, my books, my work, but it all seems small. It doesn't feel like I have the power to change anything. Whenever I think about creation, I think about the amazing musical by Stephen Sondheim, Sunday in the Park with George. It's all about creating art, looked at from all different points of view. George, an artist, struggles to find his place in the world, and in one song, George is struggling for his art, and he mourns over the idea that he will never be great. Singing in kind of a Dick and Jane style, he says, "George is afraid, George sees the park, George sees it dying. George too may fade, leaving no mark, just passing through." In the final verse, he says, "George looks around, George is alone, no use denying. George is aground, George has outgrown what he can do." I feel that. I feel that in my bones. In the final song of the show, George is desperate, wondering what he should do. He says, "I've nothing to say," well, nothing that's not been said, and his partner says to him, "Said by you, though, George?" In other words, he has nothing to say that hasn't been said, but the fact that he's the one that's saying it makes it worthwhile, because his voice is different. The same words can mean different things, carry different weight, bring to mind different thoughts. George says, "I want to make things that count, things that will be new. What am I to do?" And Dot says, "Move on. Stop worrying where you're going. Move on." She finishes by saying, "Anything you do, let it come from you. Then it will be new. Give us more to see." So on this momentous day, this 20th of January, a turning point no matter what side of the political aisle you land on, let us all turn to the act of creation. As Cicero said, let us criticize by creation, not by finding fault. And as Sondheim said, "Anything you do, let it come from you, then it will be new. Give us more to see." Create something new. Be a maker. It doesn't matter if you're painting hobby terrain or building models or writing fiction or painting pictures or even making a business. Create something new and let it come from you. Anyway, thanks for listening. Here's the church. I'll be back with more hobbying later. For now, stay safe.